What's up, YouTubers? We're going to take an initial first look at the EMP EDC Nimble W, the EMP Every Man's Pocket Everyday Carry. This is John Rusk is the designer and owner of the company, and you may recall, I'll go ahead and link it up above, but the original Nimble was a fantastic expression of fidgetiness as well as a useful EDC carry. I'll go ahead and link that up there. Whoa, big thumb. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about some initial impressions, kind of in the context of the original. In fact, let's go ahead and put out the original, which is a spear point, the original Nimble. That's Nymble. One of the things you're going to notice with the Wharncliffe, the Nimble W is a W for Wharncliffe. The blade is about 1/4 inch longer, so you're going to have that. As much as I thought the blade stock was thicker, it's not. If it is, it's literally a half of, or 1/5,000ths. It's literally going to be 5,000ths of an inch, because on my little micrometer here, this one, it only goes to 2 decimals, and in the inch range, it was 0.14 blade stock for both. And then if you kind of look at the grinds there, let's go ahead and take a look at the grind height. You're going to see that the grind height is a little bit higher on this taller blade, the W, but it doesn't, from just first looks and first use, doesn't make any sort of difference that I found. They both behave very similarly. So the original Nimble is a little bit smaller. You're going to notice on the handle here that it does come across straight, of course, to accommodate that Wharncliffe blade. As you notice, that'll go right in there. And so you do, there is a requirement of that. And that actually, just initially out of the gate, we'll go ahead and move the original out of the way, and I'll give us some of the first impressions. All the original fidgetiness of it is still in play. So you still have front flipping action, back flipper or top flipper, however you want to call that. All that stuff's great. Thumb, so it retains all of that good capability. It's a relatively small pocket size, but this one is still bigger. Again, we'll bring that out, and you can see that is, a good 3/4 of an inch longer there. It's going to be taller as well. Take a look at that, So it's going to be taller in both pocket and in hand. So it does lose a little bit, I believe, of its nimbleness. Again, this is not a full review. I will go ahead and do that. And I don't know, at this point, honestly, it's going to probably be closer to Christmas time. But I do know that these are going to be dropping some excess ones. So if you're kind of thinking about, do I want this one or do I want the original? You're really going to need to decide for yourself. Do you want that slightly bigger blade? Are you interested more in the Wharncliffe, format instead of the spear point here? Let me tell you, in terms of in the hand, the one thing that I will notice that does stick out kind of right away is this part back here. It kind of pokes into you a little bit. It's not as bad as like a Chavez. I do like a Chavez, the Redención 229, but it's just actually sharp back here. But the key is that it's actually it comes to a flat there, and so it's pokey in there. Whereas the original, again, it kind of rounds down. You're going to notice that this kind of rounds and nestles in, whether you're in the choked up forward position or you're in the backward position. A little bit more comfortable in the hand, so that's something you may want to consider on this one. If the types of cuts you're going to be doing are more utilitarian, I think this would be better for open up boxes, kind of where you need to dig in deep versus shallow, maybe cutting bubble wrap, that sort of thing, or cutting through a lot of material. If you were going to actually use this to cut something like carpet, possibly with somewhat of a soft backing on there, that might be a better option for that, the Wharncliffe one. So, that's what I would say is, overall, it's definitely a little bit bigger, beefier knife on the whole. I do believe it's lost a little bit of its nimbleness, but it does retain all of its fidgetiness. It was well produced by QSP. In terms of the action, it's definitely, it's not as smooth as my other one, because I actually carried that one for a decent bit and smoothed it in. But this one does really nice. It's a ball bearing. Again, you have the multi-type of flipping capability, and hopefully, this will at least help you decide, do I want to shoot in for the Nimble, W, which again, he has some extras. This was from the pre-order, I don't know, a couple months back, but he does have some extra that he's going to be dropping. And then you might need to decide for yourself, do I want to get one of those, or do I kind of want to hold out for maybe a repeat cycle of the original? Do I want the X? Do I like the bigger factor, but I do want the spear point? For me, I do know that I definitely wouldn't have preferred that myself. The Nimble X's just seemed a little bit too big. This one kind of splits the difference, the Warncliffe does here, whereas the X actually goes even like another 1/4 inch. It's like a full 3.5 inch blade. So, you know, speaking of, I guess we can quick measure that. 3.32. So yeah, it's just over 3.25 inch blade, almost exactly on the dot. So yeah, you know, hopefully this is some useful information for you. If you're just wondering, hey, how does it compare to the original Nimble? I hope it was of use. If it was, hit like and subscribe, and have a great day. Take care now.